The treehouse is a magnificent, huge room built up in the trees off of the estate, known only to the locals, open to the jungle, with all of the luxuries of civilization. The Marias had decked out the table with a feast fit for queens, and Faith and the Marias ate and laughed and celebrated their new beginning with their newest student, a shy and reserved little mouse of a girl that was appropriately named Little Mouse. She was actually from Bali, unlike the Marias. And Faith was not quite sure if she spoke English, Spanish, or Balinese, or whatever it is they speak in Bali. The native tongue. It was with the seamlessness that the night's lecture began, almost as of its own accord. It was the idea of grace. And when you plug into grace, you live in the flow. Maria waxed on about how miraculous the timing was of Faith's arrival in her life. Maria, the maid, was so grateful that the divine had intervened on her niece's behalf. Faith learned that Maria the Young had been acting out prior with an aimlessness appropriate for a life coaching client. But her aimlessness bordered on apathy and depression. Maria the Young did not like her job. While Maria the Young did not like her job with the hotel, Faith marveled at how intently Maria the Young had listened in Karen Kane's coaching retreat earlier in the day. In fact, Maria's the Young's recount of what had happened was so in-depth and precise that Faith would go back to her hotel later that evening and journal the information down as if she were taking notes in the seminar herself. Karen was talking about marketing again and connecting with other coaches and marketing through each other's channels. Faith thought this was an excellent idea. And decided from the get-go that she should have some guest speakers at her very first Dream life coaching retreat. Faith also reminded Maria the Young that one should not define their circumstances that one never had to define their circumstances negatively. She could be mired in the idea that her job in the hotel was a dead end and live and act like this forever, going home each night as if she were living in a quagmire, stuck, never looking for opportunity. Or she could define her position positively and realize that each moment is a gift and a clue about what the universe gives us, which is grace. And in this moment, indeed, in fact, she had gained all of this information from the retreat she could look at it as if the information was for her, that she didn't have to do anything in her life but merely exist, and the universe would bring what she wanted and desired straight to her, be it at her dead-end job or cooking her chicken in her kitchen at home or going to the bathroom. But the key and the important aspect, the important thing she had to get was that she had to define it. She had to define it so that trusting in the greatness of the universe, not in its implicit negativity, sucking the energy and life out of her. But that every moment was a gift that lifted us up and pushed us up, regardless of whether or not we understood how it did so. And then when she lived in this reality that is a synthesis of her own making along with the universe's reality, she cultivated her emotions, because the world does not make us feel. Each situation in our life does not make us feel. Other people in our lives do not make us feel in any sort of way. What makes us feel are the thoughts we think in our head, of which we have total control. It is primarily how we define the stories of our life that makes up the story of our life. We can spin the macro story, the large story of our life, which will affect our life in the macro by cultivating the micro aspects of our life and controlling our thoughts on the micro aspects. This is allowing. And when we allow and we don't resist, we see grace at work. Life coaching lesson number